Well, greetings everybody. I would like to solve this problem on my math lab that says use a stem and leaf plot to display the data. But before I do that, I would like to say that the part of the course that we're in right now will involve organizing data so that it's easier to see patterns and draw conclusions. Okay? As it is, this data is all chaotic, it's disorganized, it's called raw data. It's unsorted. It's hard to see anything about it besides it being a bunch of numbers. Okay? As far as what the data is, these are scores on the midterm exam in a biology class. Now, here's how a stem and leaf plot works. Notice in this column I have 6, 7, 8, 9. If in these boxes I were to put, say, a 5, all right, 6, 5, that would account for the number 65. Okay? If then I was to put here a 1, see that's 7, 1, that would account for this number 7, 1, 71. If I was then to put a 6, that would account for this number 76. So that's how we can organize these numbers. Okay. Now I've got to do that for all of these, and I have to do it in an orderly way. And so what I suggest is that rather than pick through it like I was trying to do, I was trying to look at this and, well, I got 65 and I wrote that down, and then I got 71, and we need to look at this in an organized way. So I click open in statcrunch, and then this is what came up. Okay, there are those same numbers in that data set, same exact numbers. But how's that any different than just looking at it here? It's not really any different. So let's sort it. If I was going to make this thing the way that I described to you, wouldn't it be easiest if these numbers were sorted least to greatest? Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that. So I can, in this column up here, I can click sort ascending. I think it would be easiest to do that if it was least to greatest. And now all those numbers are sorted least to greatest. Okay, now at this point it shouldn't be that hard to construct the stem and leaf plot in the way that I initially described. So look, I've got 65 and 68. If I put a 5 right here, that accounts for the number 65. If I then follow it with an 8, that accounts for 50 or 68. Okay, so far this gives me a 65 and a 68. Those are all the 60s. I've got 71, two 75s, and a 76. So I need to do like this. Okay, what you see right there accounts for the numbers 71, 75, 75 again because there's two of them, and 76. Next for the 80s, I've got two 80s, I've got two 82s. So far I've accounted for 80 and another 80, 82 and another 82. I've got two 85s, two 87s, and an 88. Now notice I'm doing this in an orderly way. I need to build this thing up from least to greatest. So it's 6, 5, 6, 8, 7, 1, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 6. If I mix all these up, then we lose the organization of it. Okay? But so alright, as I sorted this ascending, I've got it organized the way a stem and leaf plot's supposed to be. Next with the 90s, I got 90, let's see, 4 91s. Okay? And a 92, a 94, a 95, and a 99. Okay, so it's easier to see somewhat of a pattern from this. I mean, most of the scores are in the 80s or 90s, very few in the 60s. Okay? And then I could go through them and see them in ascending order if I read the table the way that I described to you. Alright, I can see that the low score is 65 all the way up to the high score of 99. I can see all that stuff far easier than I could if it's unorganized the way it was given to me initially. Okay, so I have it. There's my stem and leaf plot in. I checked it and it's correct. So that's how you make a stem and leaf plot. Don't try to do it without first sorting the data. Okay, somehow you can sort it least to greatest or greatest to least, however it is, however you want to look at it, but it's got to be put in like this in the stem and leaf plot.